I was rushing through the streets of the city, eyes darting toward every traffic light, as if willing them to stay green just for me. My wedding suit was already a little wrinkled, my hand trembled on the steering wheel, and the clock on the dashboard ticked with cruel indifference. Time was slipping away too quickly. There were barely 15 minutes left before the ceremony. In my mind, I could already picture Aline, my bride, standing in the lobby of the registry office, tapping her foot impatiently, her eyes throwing lightning bolts in my direction when I finally arrived. I could hear her mother's sharp tongue, ready to remind me of this tardiness for the rest of my life. Turn after turn, I cut through the quarters of the city, chasing shortcuts, praying for open roads. That's when I saw her. On the side of the road stood a woman. Her dark hair was braided into a long plait. A bright scarf was tied around her head, and a wide skirt rustled faintly in the evening wind. She wasn't just standing there. She was waiting, looking straight at me, as if she knew I would pass this way. I wanted to speed past, but without really deciding, my foot pressed the brake. The car slowed. Why, I didn't know. Maybe because she was in the way, maybe because of her eyes, too calm, too steady, too certain. She leaned toward the open window and spoke with quiet assurance. "Will you take me to the registry office?" I hesitated. My throat was dry. Finally, I nodded. "I'm going there too," I muttered, unlocking the door. She slipped inside without hurry, arranging her skirts neatly on her knees. She smelled of wood smoke, herbs, and faraway roads. The kind of scent that carried other lives, other journeys. For a moment, silence filled the car, broken only by the relentless ticking of the clock. Then she asked, without turning her head. "Nervous?" "Very," I admitted, casting her a quick glance. "Don't be afraid," she said softly, almost smiling. "Things will not happen the way you expect, but they will happen the way they must." I frowned, forcing a laugh. "Are you some kind of fortune teller?" "I don't predict," she replied. "I simply see. Especially when someone walks the wrong path." I wanted to ask her more, but suddenly the facade of the registry office appeared before us. My heart leapt into my throat. Guests already gathered at the entrance, cameras flashed, and there, on the steps, stood Aline, dressed in white like a fragile flower. She looked radiant, glowing under the gaze of friends and family. The stranger beside me opened the door and stepped out first. Then she froze. I hadn't even left the driver's seat before she turned abruptly, leaned close, so close her lips nearly brushed my ear, and whispered, "She carries another in her heart. Your crown is not hers. Leave, or you will be cursed by her love." I jerked back, stunned. "What did you just say?" But she was gone. As quickly as she had appeared, she vanished into the crowd. I stumbled out of the car, scanning the street, but there was no trace of her. Only Aline remained, smiling at me, though her eyes, I noticed, did not smile at all. Still, my feet carried me forward. The crowd clapped, cheering as I ascended the steps. Bridesmaids chattered around Aline, the photographer's flash exploded again, and everything appeared so normal, so festive, like any other wedding. But the stranger's voice echoed in my skull. "She carries another in her heart. Leave." Halfway up the staircase, I froze. I looked straight at my bride. She caught my gaze, then her smile bloomed brighter as she rushed down to embrace me. Wrapping her arms around my neck, she whispered, "You nearly killed me, January. I thought you'd run away." I forced a smile, though inside, my thoughts were chaos. I searched her eyes for proof, denial, anything at all, but found only surface calm. "Are you all right?" she asked, a trace of worry entering her voice. "Yes, just the traffic," I muttered, glancing back over my shoulder. But the stranger was gone. We entered the hall. The air inside felt heavy, charged, like the moments before a storm. The registrar spoke the usual words, rehearsed and ceremonial. I tried to listen, tried to let the rhythm of tradition carry me. But then, just as the rings were brought forward, I saw it. Aline's eyes shifted, just slightly, toward the back row. I followed her glance. A tall man in a black shirt sat there, his face tense, his gaze fixed only on her. He did not clap, did not smile. He simply watched. Aline's fingers trembled as she lifted the ring. For a fraction of a second, she held her breath. I leaned close, whispering into her ear between toasts and polite applause. "Do you know him?" She flinched, then forced a laugh. "Who?" "The man at the back. Black shirt." "Oh, him? No, probably just one of your guests." She turned away quickly, raising her glass. But I knew. She lied. My skin knew, my blood knew. The stranger's warning thundered inside me. "She carries another in her heart." The rest of the evening passed in fragments: cheers, laughter, kisses, endless congratulations. And yet I felt as though I were trapped in someone else's story, an actor following lines I hadn't chosen. That night, in the bridal suite, the city hummed outside, but inside there was only silence. Aline sat at the mirror, retouching her makeup. I stood by the window, loosening my collar, watching her reflection. Everything should have been perfect. We were married. We had said our vows. Yet nothing felt right. "You're strange tonight," Aline said, meeting my eyes through the mirror. Strange? Or maybe absent? I replied quietly. "Are you sure I'm the one who's absent? Or is it you, still searching for the man you were looking at today?" Her hand froze mid-gesture. "What are you talking about?" I saw him. Third row. Black shirt. You looked at him like the world stopped. That's nothing," she stammered. "Someone I once knew. Long ago. But not forgotten," I said softly. "He's still inside you. You never let him go. And now you're my wife." There was no anger in my voice, only exhaustion, deep bone-deep weariness. Her eyes dropped. Her voice trembled. "I tried, January. I wanted to forget. I thought with you it would be different, safer, calmer. I thought I could bury the past. But you lied," I said, stepping back from her touch. "Not only to me, but to yourself. I can't be the second choice. I won't live with a wife whose heart beats for another." The silence between us grew heavy, unbearable. 2 glasses stood on the table. One was full, one untouched. I drained mine, set it down, and reached for my jacket. "I need air." And I left her there alone, in her wedding dress, with the mirror and her unspoken truth. Out on the street, the city was quiet. Street lamps stretched long shadows across wet pavement. My steps echoed. I didn't know where I was going, only that it had to be away. Away from lies. Away from a love that had never been mine. And then, by the corner of the old square, I stopped. She was there. The stranger. The woman with the braid and the scarf. Waiting as if she had known I would come. The shadows of trees swayed behind her, as though the night itself bent around her figure. "Why are you here?" My voice was rough. "I never left," she answered calmly. "I knew you would come." "How did you know? How could you see all this?" "I see people. Their knots, their roads, their mistakes. I saw you, too bright for the darkness you were walking into." My chest tightened. I was a fool. I thought love was simple. That I could take someone's heart and warm it with mine. But it was never mine to take. "Now you are free," she said gently. "And you know how it feels to be unloved. That knowledge is not a curse, it is strength. Don't turn away from it." I met her eyes. They were deep, ancient, carrying something vast, like she bore entire rivers of fate behind her gaze. "Who are you?" I whispered. She smiled faintly, then turned, stepping into the shadows. Her voice drifted back, soft as wind. "I am only a voice at the crossroads. You heard me. That means you will live." And then she was gone. I stood alone on the quiet street. But inside me, the emptiness had lifted. In its place, a new breath, clean and unbroken. I didn't know where tomorrow would take me, but I knew it would not be back to where I came from. Somewhere in a hotel room, a woman in white remained, a woman I would never again call my beloved. Ahead of me stretched the city, the night, and a life waiting to begin from zero. I was free,